Okay, so this is Thursday, March the 19th. This is day 4 of our remote learning. They closed the gym yesterday, so if I look a little fat around the neck or something, it's because I haven't been able to go and lift weights. So I'm gonna be doing a bunch of push-ups and stuff around the house here for the next few days. But anyway, today we're gonna be talking about doing linear inequalities. Okay, how to graph. All right, how to graph them. And then I'm going to show you how to graph them one at a time. And then we're going to look at graphing a system of linear inequalities. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start this presentation so that way everybody can see what we're doing. All right. Okay. So now let's go look at this. All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this for you. What I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to show you how to plot them just one at a time. So when you look to the left of your screen, all right, you can see that says y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 2. Okay. And then the one at the bottom, get this off here, says y is less than negative 1/2 x minus 3. Okay. Now, if you notice, they're both in a form we should recognize, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay. Where we know we start with our y-intercept, which is b, and then we move either up and right or down and right according to our slope here. Okay, which is m. All right. Now I've got some other notes for you. When you look at the right, if it's just less than or just greater than, you'll use a dashed line. If it's just less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you'll use a solid line. Okay. So I made a cheat sheet for you that I'm going to upload with this video. All right, so let's go ahead and plot the first one. Like I said, we're going to plot them one at a time. I'm going to show you how to do them by hand, then we're going to go to Desmos to do them. Okay, so when we look at y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 2, we start at the y-intercept just like if it was just a regular slope-intercept equation. Okay, so we're going to start at -2. So I'm going to come to -2. I'm going to plot my line, my point here. Now the slope is +3. Now remember, if it's just a whole number or integer, when you think about that as a fraction for your rise over run, any whole number is over 1. So the slope, you can really think of it as, if you want to, m equals 3 over 1. Okay, so that means I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, because it's positive, and then to the right 1. I can go ahead and make me 2 points if I want. So 1, 2, 3, and to the right 1. Now look over here to the right. See how it's greater than or equal to? Okay, since it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to use a solid line. Okay, so solid line is just solid line, no breaks in it. That'll make more sense when we see the next one. Now this is by hand, so it's not going to be perfect. Okay, so think about it. When you say y is greater than, because on these we shade, the only difference about plotting an inequality versus plotting an equation is we shade on these. We're either going to shade above or below. Y'all see how it says y is greater than. So just if I ask you, what do you think, where do you think you should shade, above or below if it's greater than? Most of y'all are going to say you shade above the line, coach, and you're going to be correct. Okay, so I'm going to shade above the line this way. All right. Now with I'm just drawing lines for shading, but with y'all's pencils or however y'all want to do it, y'all want to actually shade in like your color, and that's fine too. Okay. So that's the first one. All right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to plot the second one. Okay. So when you look at the second one, y is, that's in gray down here, y is less than -1/2 x minus 3. So again, we're going to start at our b, or our y-intercept. So I'm going to come down here to -3. Okay, and this one's going to be in the dark gray. So I'm going to come down -3, plot my point. Now, when you look at it, okay, this is a negative slope. All right. So instead of going up and over, I'm going to go down and over. So I'm going to go for -1, I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1, 2. Okay. And then let's say I want to make another point. Remember, if I can't go down and right, what's the opposite of down and right? Up and left. So I can go up 1 and to the left 2. Now, when you look at your notes here, okay, you're going to notice that it says, because that's just less than, there is no solid line under. And that's the best way to remember it. If it's got a solid line in the inequality, it's a solid line when you graph it. This one doesn't have a solid line. It's just less than, so I use a dash line. Draw a dash line, you just draw a line with some breaks in it, like that, like little dashes. Okay? Just so y'all can, I hope everybody can see that. I'm gonna go back over that in yellow, just so everybody can see. Okay, this is my second line here. All right. Now, remember we said common sense should kind of tell you if it's greater than, we shade above. So where do you think we shade if it's less than? Okay, well, we'll shade below. All right, so I'm gonna go below the line and shade. Okay. Now, there's a specific region that you're looking for. What they'll say is find us inequality that satisfies both equations. And where that is, okay, it's going to be where they're both shaded in, okay? So when you look at the line, remember the yellow was that gray line, the second one. So this one's shaded below down here. All right, I know y'all might not can see that yet. And then the brown was shaded above. So the double shaded region, all right, I'll show you. It's going to be in pink, is right in here, okay? This is the double shaded region that I'm filling in, okay? All in there, all right? So any point in there, like if I want to pick a couple points that work for both of them, okay? So like I could pick -3, that's -3, -3 right there, okay? And then another point could be like -2, -4. So both those points in that double shaded area will work for both equations, okay? So I hope everybody saw that pretty clear, but now in case that, didn't work for you, now let's go look at Delta Math, or not Delta Math, Desmos, I'm sorry. Desmos graph. Okay, so when we go to Desmos here, all right, now let's look back at the inequality. So the first one is y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 2. So let's go ahead and type it in. So we'll say y. And then our signs are right here, greater than or equal to 3x minus 2. Okay, so that's the first one. See how it's shaded above? And it looks, for the most part, like the one that I did by hand here, the brown. Okay. All right, now let's do our next one. So the next one is y is just less than, and then -1, oops, -1 half x, and then -3. So make sure you hit over for your variable, or it's going to do that. And then again, if you want to just do, that's just less than. Okay, so sorry about that. That took a minute, but now let's look at it. Okay, so when you see, all right, remember that point that I said that worked for both? Okay, so let's go look at those points and see how y'all see the darker shaded region. That's where your answers are. Okay, so look, remember I said -3, -3. All right, so let's look at that. So -3 would be, now these are going by 2, so -3 would be right here. And then -3 for y, that's down here. Or -3, -3, that'd be right here. Okay, so that's in the double shaded region. And then also we said, what other point? -2, -4. All right, so if you look down here, -2, -4 is also in that double shaded region. Okay, so that's how you graph them by hand, and that's how you graph them by Desmos. Now I know that was kind of rough just because I was drawing on the screen by hand and everything, but I hope everybody got the gist of it. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, I'm gonna be online here on Google Meet in just a second.